I'm 32 years old, and I made a mistake. One so reckless, so thoughtless, that it shattered everything I thought was secure in my life. One moment, I was laughing with friends, surrounded by warmth and easy familiarity. The next, I was sitting in silence, alone in a cold house, staring at my phone as messages lit up, every name but his. I never thought Ryan would actually leave. I assumed he might get upset, maybe give me the silent treatment for a day or two, but walk out? That was never supposed to happen. That wasn't the ending I imagined for us. But it happened. He left. And now all that's left is silence and regret. It all started with one careless comment. Just one stupid sentence, meant to entertain, to be funny, to show off a little. We were out at dinner, a table full of friends, wine flowing, jokes flying. Someone threw out a silly question. If you had to pick between your husband and someone else, who would it be? I didn't think. I didn't pause. I just smiled and said something I thought would get a laugh. Honestly, I'd take my co-worker over Ryan any day. Everyone laughed. I laughed. I even winked. I thought it was harmless. But it wasn't. Ryan didn't laugh. He didn't even smile. He just sat there, watching me with a look I couldn't read. That should have been my cue. That should have been the moment I stopped, apologized, explained. But I didn't. I brushed it off, kissed his cheek, and told him to lighten up. Later that night, everything crumbled. He turned to me in our bedroom, eyes serious. "Do you really feel that way?" he asked quietly. "What are you talking about?" I played dumb. "What you said at dinner. Was a joke? Or do you actually think you'd be better off with someone else?" I should have said sorry. I should have told him I didn't mean it, that it was just a stupid comment. But instead, I got defensive. I folded my arms, scoffed, and told him he was overreacting. He laughed, but it wasn't the laugh I knew. It was hollow, bitter. I've spent years trying to be what you needed. And the one time I see you come alive, it's over someone else. "Oh, come on," I said. "Don't be dramatic." But he wasn't being dramatic. He was done. He didn't yell. He didn't argue. He just said, calmly and firmly, "If you really think there's someone better, then what are we even doing?" And in that moment, I felt a shift. It was like the floor dropped out from under me. This wasn't a fight we'd get over. This was the end beginning. "Ryan, wait," I started, but he was already walking upstairs. I followed him, hoping this was just a scare. But he was packing. Calm. Steady. Like this decision had been building for a while. Leaning against the doorway, still pretending I had some control, I asked, "You're leaving over that?" Without even talking to me. He didn't stop folding clothes. "It's not just this. It's everything." That's when the panic set in. I begged. I pleaded. I told him I didn't mean it. But he didn't even flinch. He zipped up the suitcase, grabbed his keys, and walked out the door. I thought he'd cool off. I thought he'd be back in a day or two. But the days stretched out in silence. Then came the email from a real estate agent, following up about an apartment. He wasn't cooling off. He was moving on. I called. Straight to voicemail. I texted. Nothing. Finally, I sent a voice message, shaky and teary, telling him I was sorry, that I didn't mean it, that he was all I wanted. His reply was one line. "Thanks for confirming what I suspected for a while. You just use people for what they can give you." I guess I was no different. That's when it hit me, because he wasn't wrong. I called again. This time he picked up, but his voice was cold, distant. "What do you want, Caroline?" I tried to apologize, to explain, to salvage something from a wreckage, but it was too late. "I need time to think," he said. "Don't call me again unless I reach out." And that was the last time I heard his voice. Now I sit here, checking my phone every few minutes, hoping for a message I know deep down won't come. I thought I had the upper hand. I thought I could say anything, do anything, and he'd always be there. But he wasn't. He's not. And the worst part, the co-worker I joked about, he was never even interested. All that attention I tried to grab, that little moment of fake power, it meant nothing. Now I have nothing, and no one to blame but myself.